In the 21st century, ball possession has been highly related to big teams in Europe. Teams like Man City, Barcelona, Bayern, etc. always had average ball possession above 50% per season, and with that, they win a lot of major trophies. Even though it's a basic statistic in the world football, but many of us still didn't know exactly what ball possession is. So, what is ball possession? Well, the possession itself defined as the state of having or controlling something, which means that ball possession is a player or a team that take control of the ball. It could be a passing, receiving, dribbling, and shooting. Each team gets credit for possession for any interval while it has 2 or more successive touches on the ball. But if the opponent gets a single touch on the ball, they interrupt the possession. The topic of ball possession is greatly increased since Pep Guardiola invented tiki-taka in Barcelona. Tiki-taka is a style of play involving highly accurate short passing and an emphasis on retaining possession of the ball. His philosophy was simple though. This is what he said.
I like the ball, I love the ball, and always I believe that when you have it, you can move it and try to find the space. To score a goal, you need the ball.
Then how exactly ball possession is calculated? In the early 2000s, ball possession is count on how much teams spend time on the ball. This technique is manually controlling the clock, called as chess clock. This method requires 3-button timing mechanism. One button corresponds to team A having possession, a second button corresponds to team B having possession, and the third button is pressed when the ball is out of play. But this method was changed because the problem they found is that they are too reliant on the person logging the data to remembering to hit the button, while the person who doing it usually had another task to perform. Then, how about now? With modern technology, calculating ball possession can be more detailed and more complex. Opta, one of the leading data providers, decided to create a new metric called a possession. A possession is start upon a player controlling the ball and ends when they no longer do. During the game, analysts will count total passes from each team and divide it by the game total to show percentage each team has occurred in possession of the ball. For Opta, ball possession means the percentage of completed passes and is not a measure of time, although Opta does claim that the two are very closely related. Now clearly, the number of passes you make as a team will largely translate into how much of the ball you have, which in turn usually translate into something like in-game dominance. But as a metric, that isn't telling much at all about the flow of the game. So, the next time you see a final possession figure, you know how to read it. But keep in mind that this kind of metric does not take into consideration when the ball is out of play. And sometimes, being able to have possession when the ball is not in play can make the difference between defeat or victory. So now we know how to calculate ball possession. But is ball possession really matter in football? The answer is yes. It has become a common belief that ball possession is important and play a significant impact on the result of the match. When a team has the ball for most of the time, it is accepted that they are the dominating side. Even in the first decade of 2000s, the possession percentage was considered as the main metric to judge the quality of a team. The higher the ball possession percentage, the better team. The perception about the importance of ball possession was popularized by the Dutch legend Johan Cruyff, who have revolutionized football in many ways. He used to say, "Without the ball, you can't win. If we have the ball, they can't score." However, if a team had a higher ball possession percentage, doesn't mean they can win the game. Did you remember an iconic UCL game, Celtic against Barcelona? Barcelona had 89% ball possession and Celtic only had 11% ball possession in that match, and yet Barcelona lost the game. Or UCL final in 2010, Inter up against Bayern Munich, with Inter only had 32% ball possession, but still managed to win the game. We can come to a conclusion that ball possession may after all not mean anything. But we can make this match as a direct basis in the whole football match. The fact that big teams can win many games and many trophies because these big teams always try to dominate in every single match. In fact, Soccerman, analytic provider in the world football, analyzing in terms of the impact of ball possession for the final result in top 5 European league, not only per match, but in the whole season. In that analysis, the conception about the importance of ball possession was proved to have much more sense. The team with higher percentage of ball possession generally had a better result. The conclusion is possession football is a good strategy for success. Successful teams that are able to keep the ball away from their opponents do have more shots and do score more goals, while defensively they concede a fewer shots and consequently a fewer goals. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm Al, see you next time.